Hello, hello. It's time for some FACEIT League. Super Scared of Women taking on Quick Academy. Very much looking forward to this match. Both these teams coming in 1-0. Excuse me, Super Scared of Women's coming in 1-0. Quick Academy lost their first match. Excuse me, to I guess what is now Fog Esports. This was, yeah, Eclipse changed their name? Yes. And I know Scared of Women, like, kind of squeaked by their first game in a 3-2. But of course, we are talking about a relatively new roster here. So, you know, Lunar was, you know, part of the Super Shy roster that moved up into Master Division this year. Of course, Lunar not old enough. So staying with the Super Shy org, which is awesome, kind of built a roster here for Expert Division for Lunar to be able to keep competing. But, you know, it is still a brand new roster. Quack looked relatively unchanged. Quick Academy's match was also, that loss was a 3-2, or 2-3, I suppose I should say. Both of these teams' first match of the seasons were, in fact, map 5s. It definitely indicated that Scared of Women got map pick here, which would be new to Season 5. Okay, it's a Freya and a Lucio band out. Kerfley is starting here for map 1 for Quack. We also do have Eru and Elku as that backline. Oh my goodness, what started as a silly combination of names, now, like when I ask who banned the Lucio, they just respond Quack. And Lunar says, when we make our logo a duck. Right on cue. Right on cue. We're also going to get a side swap as we head into this. Let's get into map 1. Show me some Overwatch. Nick, and she says, just warmed up the Life Weaver, beware. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. In the meantime, we are going to get a little bit of a double flex on a carry backline coming in from Scared of Women. Backing up the Lunar Ramatra. Was teasing us with the Winston very early on there in the pick phase, but does end up rolling out on some Brawl. Backshot, of course, we'll have to keep head on a swivel here. You're going to have Kerfley and Boosted. Trying to push it. I'd imagine the hunt down the Ana. Right now, Boosted is just on point duty. Just here to anchor the drum and give Kerfley a little time to back up and kind of go harass the back line a little bit. Still denied opening cap. Extras 5 position to get in a beautiful crossfire here from the window, though. Horrocks goes down. Part of the double flex support, you still have plenty of sustain with the Ana and even a little punching power. Nate goes in. I think Boosted was able to blink out of it, maybe even use recall through that. Let's go double check. No, recall's still available. In fact, recall does not come out in time. Shoal puts in a wonderful shot. So despite it actually kind of being a 2-for-2 trade here, and first picks, early picks, going in favor of Quack, it is Super Scared of Women, who not only get first cap, but are holding on to it. Ziggy, thank you for the follow. Shoal's cut off guard for a moment. Booster wasn't quite able to land the one shot. Reinforcements show up. Booster ends up losing the 1v2. NRG with yet another finish onto Kerfley's Wrecking Ball, and the second fight win in a row here for Scared of Women. Kerfley swaps over to a Junker Queen. Shoal gets hit. Shoal's just got Boosted's number right now. Boosted is not allowed to play the game at the moment. Shoal seems to have them on just sonar radar ping. X-Ross and the rest of Quack walking through drum side. It's an overclock out, nanoed up there. Shoal immediately just cuts through Kerfley like a hot knife through butter. Picks X-Ross out of the sky. A couple of shots will put Arrow back into a respawn timer as well. Ooh, you've been able to sniff out Boosted.
This ends.
Power, it's funny you say that. Horrocks does end up back in a brig. X-Ross with an OC trying to muscle through the lunar shield. Purple did land on the boosted. Oh, beautiful sleep out of Baxter. Does not have the nade to follow up on it. It's up to Lunar. Lunar's going to pop the Annihilation, but there's a rally in play. But this goes down once again. Having a rough time here in this opening sub-map. That overtime's going to burn. There's only 3 left. Elku was hoping they could at least extend this a little longer, but no such do it. It's a 100-0 here for Scared of Women. Stair Course, thank you for the follow. Sorry I missed that one earlier. Or maybe it's just come through.
Or expect to lose.
Ramus, likewise. Oh, Fudgy. Oh. No wrecking ball out of the gate here from Kerfley. It looks like both teams kind of sticking with the rollout. With Boosted, importantly, I think is the biggest change here, coming off the Tracer and into the Genji. Really struggling there in open map. Tied for deaths there with Kerfley. 2 and 4 thus far. Kerfley's taking a lot of damage, but it looks like Luna's the one kind of trying to back up and search for some cover. Does still have the armor from the Nemesis form. So, wasn't feeling threatened until that faded away. Then drop downs ensue from both of our squads. Kerfley trying to corner Lunar. Uses the carnage for a little extra damage and sustain, but there's plenty of heals coming in from up top. Baxter's got the angle. Ooh, speaking of angles, X-Ross Crisis finds the crossfire, breaks this defense open. Pulse bomb in the pocket of NRG here. Kind of playing by themselves along Ko's side. This is going to recall out, try to get back around the corner. X-Ross giving chase, finds the kill. The rest of the team had looped all the way around towards the Quack stairs. So it was a long rotation. They weren't quite able to get in the fight to take advantage of the distraction. Now it's going to be an orbital thrown into this 5v4 where Kerfley's going to knife through Shoal. Shout forward and chase down the annihilating Lunar. Trying to sustain through it. Lunar just get yanked back into the pile of people. Really nice fight there out of Quack. And it's flawless as a matter of fact. No casualties. Only the orbital ray used. We'll say Scared Women are coming back in with quite a few check marks here as well. So this is going to be an explosive fight and potentially the last opportunity. Quack could close up this sub-map with a win here. Next Ross is going to open it up. Overclock combined with Rampage. Rampage hits 3. Horrocks is low. Baxter's going to get chased down. Ooh, and a quick 180 and finish off Horrocks with Gracie. Back onto the point. There is a blade here from Boosted. 90% on the board. It's just Lunar left on the point. NRG's coming back on a Genji. Okay, does make it back right as Lunar dies. The blade from Boosted should be enough to close this out. We're headed to Mecha Base to determine who takes map 1. Quap Orbinet, Slingshot Theory. Not if, you know, map 2 is giving some gravity to that theory, I will say. Shoal and Baxter making changes coming into Mecha Base. Going to match the Juno on the other side. And then, of course, this Cassidy we're seeing on your screen right now. Kind of kicking a field goal with a couple of those shots. I hate when I do that. Put him right between the two players on your screen. Like your brain can't decide which one to aim on. But still a lot of consistent pressure on to Kerfley as they're trying to close the gap. Of course, you know, minimizing that poke damage is the name of the game, and Shoal's going to put it out in bulk. Carnage lands onto a blocking Lunar, but still they're taking tick damage. A great Vortex. Kind of locked down that kill. Ends up being a trade on tanks. And these two teams look as evenly matched as ever here in this opening fight on Mecha Base. Two Genjis for point control. Boosted gets the dash through just after NRG finishes a kill on the brick. The trades continue. Tanks are back here to try to lock it down, but Shoal got a very quick deadeye. Kerfley wasn't ready for that one. An extremely fast ultimate. Put a massive advantage in the pocket of Scared of Women. This is an important fight win, and finally a team stabilizes here after an incredible back and forth. Kerfley in a bit of trouble. Lunar's going to finish them off with a couple of punches. Boosted was still just a couple of percentage away from the blade. I think really wanted to get that up to try to help with the shout. Wanted that up for the shout engage, and it was just 1 or 2% away. With all the focus on to Kerfley, the attack just falls apart. Well played there out of Quack. Excuse me, out of Scared of Women. Carnage just got halted. Rock slams in the face of Kerfley. And that Carnage would have been massive. That Carnage would have been a lot of sustain. And pretty much another immediate Carnage to add even more. So that could have very quickly snowballed into an unkillable Kerfley. But Horrocks with a well-timed shield bash just interrupts it entirely, and there's no health regen to face all that damage. Very quick rotation to the other side where Xbox is going to pop it over clock. Fire across the way. We'll find Shoal. Ooh, what a finish on the NRG. That's how you shut down a blade. Quacker right back into this map. Now they need to finish off Lunar. Lunar's doing a good job of kind of holding up there for a moment. Eventually the die on point call comes in. We get the flip. Boosted has the high ground. Chili Car with a swift dual, crispy finish there on the NRG. Kerfley waiting for this rampage, setting up. You have a lot of sustain from the other side, but may all go for naught if the rampage is good. It gets canceled? Oh no. I believe that was a flashbang out of Shoal that canceled that ultimate. That was so fast, but Chillicard still able to dash through 3, even despite losing that ultimate. And all that sustain I talked about still goes for naught. I believe Orbital got canceled through that as well. Either that or just went right into the wall and wasn't there for the fight. Wasn't there to help defend against the blade. This fight's still going, though. Rally up from Elkos. They're disengaging from Lunar and company, who is Scared of Women, have busted out through the choke finally. It'll be 90+% by the time Scared of Women gets the flip. Looking at one last good fight here. Quack had good luck pushing up this side before. Orbital advantage. Horrocks still a couple percent away. Ooh, Kerfley pushes out. Almost goes out. A dangerous move, but is able to survive sub 100 health. And this overclock has already removed some of the healing from the opposite side. It's just Horrocks holding the rally on the high ground. Flip comes through. Kerfley hiding down low, right in the middle behind some pillars. Elku drops down to escape the rotation from Horrocks. Horrocks now kind of sits alone up top as Luna's trading blows. Meanwhile, Bruce is picked up. Elku's able to shut down NRG's blade, though. Deadeye from the top to try to swing this thing for Scared Women. You'll at least get him control of the point in a 99-99 fight. Luna with an annihilation to close this out face-to-face with a half-health Curfling. Beverly backing up, shouts in, looking for a squishy, has to settle for putting some damage into Lunar. Annihilation now pops on the point. Rampage will pick up 2. Then it will take 2 down, make it 3, hit by the Rampage. Kerfley swings it in the final moments of the back against the wall. Quack come out on top and 1-0 lead. What a map. All right. So Scared of Women chosen to go on the attack on their pick of Watchpoint Gibraltar. Here for map number 2. Let's see who they ban out. Once again, Freya and Lucio no longer available. Banned there in the first map. And it's a Diva ban from Scared of Women. Look at some stats there from that first map. What stands out? What stands out? Lunar's 17,000 damage stands out. And Shoal coming up with 32 elims. You know, both of which look significantly more of what we're seeing in the damage category or elims there for Quack. But I guess Quack really got it there when it mattered. I mean, Scared of Women win that first map 100-0. I think Quack absolutely complete the slingshot theory, albeit that final map was damn close. Polar Paraf, thank you for the follow. Carry on and support a Winston here. X-Ross rocking the Widowmaker. Some alliteration there for you. Joel trying to inch their way to some high ground, see if they can get an angle, start putting some threats down, some shots down on X-Ross. Try to control these angles a little bit. Minimize the room that X-Ross has to peek. And get the headshot, but the purple doesn't quite land. There's a rotation into the window. We're going to get a couple of shots from the snipers going back and forth. One does land on the X-Ross. They were forced back up there after they got taken down to about 50 health. Fortunately for them, it was not a headshot. Machu trying to take some of this high ground back. But with the purple there, you're going to force out a Suzu and the leap just to get out. Shoal able to take up some good positioning, finds that angle. So high ground control, opening pick. Both going over to Scared of Women here. 1 minute into Watchpoint Gibraltar. We're able to double down, purchase some more real estate. You know, it's like when you have the whole block in Monopoly. You know, you're able to start putting some houses in. Get that extra income. Lunar's racking it up. Rich boy on point. Curfley, I'm still shaking from that map. You did fantastic. Machu returns on a wrecking ball here. Horrocks just says, "Get down, Mr. President." Fortunately, cannot protect Baxter through that. Is able to keep Shoal alive. Boosted dancing around and Shoal, the tip of the nose of the shuttle. Does have the Venom Mine there to protect him. Just kind of denies the boop in. Oop! Boosted doesn't need the Blake melee to finish you off with the drop down, puts it into this attack. Machu able to clean up down low as well. So after a fairly flawless run through point A, we do get a hold here out of Quack on the shuttle. Yeah. Oh, boosted! Oh, no, boosted! Joel drops the question. Let's go check it out this Primal Rage. Oh, Primal's fading. I was too distracted. I was like, well, Suzu was used, so there's nothing to protect against that Pulse Bomb. But Boosted just runs into it and trades themselves for it. Now considering rush on the point here. Yeah, Baxter and Horrocks each put one in the feed. I never saw the defensive rush come out. So used to teams choosing Suravasa map 2, you forgot there was actually any other choice. There was actually a map pick to be had. Shoal, Baxter, and company have all moved up to this high ground. Sleep onto the Wrecking Ball. Nano boost onto Shoal. Shoal's going to turn around and unleash hell onto X-Ross. Deflect already in. Boosted did get hit there by a shot from Baxter, trying to back away. NRG is going to stick around in the mismatch against Elku, and Lunar has gotten some high ground. This is going to cut off Boosted's escape. And with 4 minutes on the clock, Scared of Women are moments away from a monstrous time bank here. We've only lost one team fight so far, but the bubble used up front means there's nothing to clear those nades. Beautiful Suzu does protect from Lunar even getting purpled by that bio nade, but X-Ross is able to come back on a cast, win the duel against Shoal, and take out that big space creation Deadeye ultimate alongside it. I love that noise. That is a very satisfying noise. That noise is like the best part of the whole Cowboy Bebop package. As soon as the Lunar goes up top, that's going to be a drop down from Machu. Like I see the vision there, trying to kind of boop Shoal out into the open, out of cover, perhaps leave them vulnerable to a shot. Lunar's going to die with very little health, but is close to that Primal. Had some backup here on the high ground. Gets back up to full, jumps in to finish off Boosted. Primal, excuse me, yeah, Primal is going to get popped here. Beautiful juggle, takes Eru all the way across the spawn door. Just teasing them with a look inside of the safety in the place that they're going to be stuck here until they go back on the attack. 3 points on the board, 2:35 in the time back. Cassie had a shoal. No Widowmaker antics this time around. We're just a little bit of a scout here. I don't think the recon shot even made it out for the Sojourn swap. Immediately jump. Machi's going to get aggressive onto the high ground. Sleep Dart does get through the bubble. But X-Ross is able to find a shot. I don't know, that was a jump shot or what? We come back and X-Ross is just standing on here low ground like nothing happened. Zero explanation after a wicked fast first pick. Lunar jumps back up. I don't think got the benefit of the Suzu. Didn't get the extra healing off that Suzu. The Bionade is lit, but everybody backpedaling here from Scared of Women. Lunar is able to pick up the Mega in such and secure server room. Bit of a nail-biter moment there for the Super Scared of Women defense. Was able to hunt down Horrocks in the back line. Was trying to climb up to safety. Horrocks got there just in time. Boosted got there just in time, excuse me. Joel nanoed up. Defense once again pushing and trying to hold this server room. Some chunky shots on the Machu, but couldn't quite hit the head. Gives Elku a little bit of time to come in and at least trade. Scared of Women is predicted to finish first. I mean, you would think so. Honestly, EMEA Expert looks pretty stacked this season. Kitsune rush out of arrow. Where is this bad boy? Back over in server. Machu pops the primal and chase Horks up into the corner. Shoal is hoping to slow the roll of this Quack team, but they just keep wide on quacking. From the opposite side, thrown onto this point. Only ultimate here from the defense. Elku, ooh, I don't know if they got Machu with that sound barrier or not, but somehow they're able to back up to safety. Busan comes in for a little distraction onto Horrocks. I shove the camera into a terrible spot while Shoal picks up too. Oh, arrow from the back line is able to pop Baxter. Little going away present. They're out of Quack. But they're the ones who'll be leaving the point for now. They get stopped about a minute left to go. Just dropping in on a horse. Baxter with the only ultimate from this defense. X-Ross with the only for the offense. It's Shoal who gets the nano. Electric Cowboy from the top ropes. X-Ross jumps up over the box to 5 loader. What a shot. Deadeye from Shoal. The nano has faded, so... Whoop, nothing to protect against that pulse from Boosted. Machu sleeping on the job while the rest of Quack comes in to clean up what remains of the Scared of Women squad. Lunar is back to try to stall this as we head into the OT, but I don't think the yellow bar is going to be up for long. Oh, actually, don't even get it. 2 seconds remaining. Cap comes through. Leonard, betting on this Primal Rage coming up, does in fact get it. The bubble blocked just enough of X-Ross's damage for Lunar to have time to get this Primal Rage, but everybody kind of just skedaddles beautifully. There's really no value outside of able to live through an aggressive little start to that fight. So, Lunar tucks tail inside the shuttle. Elku and Machu set a position up top. Dropping into Mega Roam. Machu will steal away the health pack. Run away Whoever that was, NRG. Kitsune rush into the shuttle, catching a lot of people kind of bunched up, and we're gonna get both Kitsunes across this little platform. A nasty fight that Machu and the Eru come out on top of. And one of the most, could be potentially one of the most difficult points, it's certainly one of those difficult point Bs in all the game. Now, within reach of a lightning fast cap, they will get it. One fight win and then an additional kill on the Lunar was all it took. And after a 4-minute stall out on point A, I mean, that could have been really dangerous. Quack could have been in just an impossible situation heading into point C, if not for that amazing push. Lunar's now on 3 deaths. 24 and 3 to be exact. Let's Machi with the primal. Ooh. Rock Swift steps out. Kind of is able to shake him, but Shoal ends up out in the open. Oh, that means no Swift step there for that knock off the side. Baxter goes down. Oh, it was Baxter that hit, excuse me. Not Horrocks. So yeah, definitely no Swift step available for the Ana. We're going to get a beautiful push in. That was a nano throw on the Lunar just to mitigate some of that damage from the pulse. Does pop back up out onto the point with the last remnants of that nano boost. Deadeye used. Put some good damage into Machu, and the follow-up ghost shot will take them down. Didn't even see the gun kick from that one. Wasn't expecting the flashbang finish onto Elku, but hey. When Scared of Women needed a hero, Sholso's up to find some picks here in the back of the fight. Make sure they can stabilize. Really quick nano boost thinking. Really quick thinking from Baxter to get the nano boost in, and Lunar back into that fight. I mean, it was just over 2 meters, just a hair above 2 meters left for that car to go. Split second time difference. Split second amount of time for Lunar to get that touch is what I was intending to say. Time buying, space buying primal. Gets the clock down at 20 seconds. Shoal, importantly, doesn't get any kills through it. Now double support, ult counter punch coming in from Quack. They try to finish the map. Machu's going to chase down Shoal. Duel inside will go in the favor of X, Ross, and Arrow. Quacker on track to get this thing home. No ultimates here from the defense of Scared of Women to try to cheat a mismatch on point. Both DPS ults available. You should be able to shut this down. Barring a miracle here out of Scared of Women, we do get the OC pushed in, and well, you know, Shoal might have just delivered one, but that is the only one. Maybe needed more than just a miracle. Maybe needed a bushel of miracles. Yeah, now that fight inside the shuttle was absolutely some tiny Overwatch, Maddie.
Mom, I'm an Overwatch agent.
Lunar still on most damage, fewest deaths. Scared of Women banning out the Diva as they head into the very high ground dominant Watchpoint Gibraltar. It has worked out. They have over 2.5 minutes more time, 3 times more seconds on the clock. But we'll see what Quack can do with 60 of those precious little seconds. X-Ross has been a beast. X-Ross can get set up. They have delivered time and time again already in this series. We're not even finished with map 2. Machu on the slow approach to high ground. And this is... The attack on Watchpoint Gibraltar can just be such a methodical approach. And with only 1 minute, it makes it so tough. The aggressive drop down definitely favor the defense. Really good read out of Scared of Women there. Perhaps, yeah, I was going to say 2 vulnerable people on the high ground. Machu's thinking the same thing. You're going to have to send Tracer onto the cart. Boosted is there. Machu is overextended a little bit. Recognized Boosted had to recall out. This does not have a safety net anymore. And we're just going to get a stack of the car wash here from Quack. They try to inch this cart as far as humanly possible. Primal Rage out of Luda, though. First ultimate in the OT. The Deadeye shortly to follow, and that's going to be the end of the road here for Quack on Watchpoint Gibraltar. I mean, assuming Macho and Boost don't just kill everybody with no supports left. So now it's up to Quack's defense. They want the 2-0 lead. Hardly any deaths on that 1 minute defense there from Scared of Women. Extra showed us the Torb here on this defense. Energy is going to take to the sky. Ooh! The placement on that Torb turret. That's cheeky. That's cheeky. Unfortunately, there wasn't anybody positioned to get shots down onto NRG. I don't know if they expected the far raids. Interesting pick here on Watchpoint Gibraltar, but considering you only have to make it halfway through the car wash, I mean, very good on the first half of this point. It would start to lose value. You have to start to push it into the second half at all that high ground. But for just a first half push, brilliant pick. So even with a kill, it's a dangerous moment here for Quack, and Machu has to commit themselves into the car wash with Lamp just to put a stop to this cart with only a minute and a half left to go. NRG low, but the slam from Machu doesn't quite hit. They're able to back up, turtle up inside that little mega cubby. Scared of Women should be able to finish this off. Machu's low. You have Elku here trying to back him up. Does get a Suzu win. Machu hanging on with the adaptive shielding. Elku trying to race to get this Kitsune rush up. Eru gets Looter. Elku is going to get the Kitsune rush up, but they don't even need it yet. What a last second hold there. By the skin of their teeth, Quack have held on somehow. Really incredible stall from Machu and great play from Eru to keep them in that fight for as long as humanly possible. Now Kitsune rush thrown in, and it's going to be another messy fight down here in the car wash. Double support ults available for Scared of Women as they look to turn this corner. Okay, they're not going to fight into the Kitsune. They're not even going to trade it. You're going to nano the Pharah? You bet your ass you're going to nano the Pharah. 10% away from a barrage. Ant Matrix down, and is going to keep the Nano Pharah at bay for a moment, but Shoal's already picked up one down low in the car wash with the help from this Kitsune rush. With NRG's ambush in, that'll be the map. We're all tied up at one apiece here after Watchpoint Gibraltar. taking us to the home of Winston, and Lunar showing us some of the best Winston skills in the division. Get that point on the board. I think a lot of it just came back to point A. You know, if I'm thinking back on that map, I think Super Scared of Women are able to push you point A, one and done. I mean, absolutely saunter through it. Methodical textbooks approach to point A there. While Quack struggled a little bit more. You know, it took them the entirety of the 4 minutes to get through that first point. And while they did very well on points B and C, they'd already kind of dug themselves such a hole. You just end up with that time break, that massive time break difference in the end. And, you know, of course, we see Scared of Women with another fantastic defense, smart read, both on the offensive picks and the defensive picks. Well played. They knew what they were doing. They had a plan coming in for that map pick. So Quack are going to answer with Suravasa and a Ramatra band. Some stats from map 2. And we saw Lunar with fewest deaths in the lobby ended up 41-5 when it was all said and done. Hit 20k damage during that map. Shoal comes up with 17k. Shoal's able to outdamage Machu, which is impressive. Which is impressive. But can't deny Lunar. Highest elims, fewest deaths, most damage in the server. Gotta give a big shout out to that backline too. No, there's no good tank without a great backline. No doubt, friends. No doubt. Lucio bad. And from Scared of Women. Sorry, I was drinking my tea. Carflight's back in. We get the JQ here in action from Quack. X-Rush is going to accompany that with the Freya. We saw the Freya banned out in map 1. And I've seen Freya becoming more and more popular, particularly on Suravasa, kind of bounce around these little high grounds. And being used here kind of in lieu of the hit scan, which is what I've seen all but once. One time we did see kind of a double, like we saw Freya with Soj, but every other time it's been Freya alongside Tracer Genji. High sustain Orisa composition with a lot of upfront personal damage that's now been eliminated. X-Ross will definitely have a range advantage over Shoal, but not the same consistency of damage output. But the range ends up winning out here in this first fight, and first cap goes over to Quack. Deflect onto the energy jab. I hate when that happens when I'm playing Orisa. It didn't always used to be that way, and so it's kind of like you have to erase previous muscle memory as an Orisa player. Because there was definitely a lot of times where that didn't happen. Anyway. NRG does a good job of pushing off several members off the top high ground there from Scared of Women. X-Rush tries to take him back with the bolo, doesn't quite land. NRG does a ton of damage over the top. Shoal gets the shot from downrange for the kill. Now NRG is knee deep in the back line. Oh, a little too far deep in the back line. Still, it's enough to distract the supports. Long enough for the rest of Quack to win out the fight. Excuse me, the rest of Scared of Women to win out the fight. We had a side swap, don't let it fool you. I'm rocking this exact combo on the JQ, by the way. I love this look so much. The iridescent skin with the galactic weapon looks so good on well, it's a good combo on any hero, but I think it looks particularly good on the JQ. Spear is out. This could be an open rampage. Gotta watch out for this Deadeye, though. Quite a few skulls show up, but nothing in the kill feed. Now I'm probably gonna wait out the second energy jab. Want to make sure you don't get jabbed out of rampage. Ooh, does it? Does get moved back a little bit, but still is able to hit two, including that kill on to Shoal. So the Orbital not able to heal them up from Baxter. Arrow's now gonna toss theirs back into the fight. Boost is going forward with Blade in the pocket. Still, you gotta respect the Orisa, not to mention the rally up here from Horrocks. The dive in, booped back by the whip shot. NRG now following, takes to the skies. No Brig to fend off NRG's Blade. Hork comes up with two. Make it three. Also, rat skin there. I love this nice aesthetic there, Horrocks. I like this aesthetic. I can dig it. NRG was very far forward there. Heard a couple of those crossbow bolts come out from Xros, but fortunately, I guess either NRG had the deflector, they're able to get away either way. Maybe a combination of all the above. Bullet does land though, and the boost is trying to chase down the kill. NRG still sub half health, but avoids disaster here on the first approach gardens. Boosting using the deflect, trying to hold a line against the Erasa. Carefully, Junk Queen can certainly use help with that. Terror Surge could be big. Booston's going to get popped by Shoal, trying to get away. Shoal's going to find 3 through that exchange. A couple of nasty shots land onto Xros. An immediate flip. Oh, yeah, I did forget to change the Lucio band, didn't I? Good call. Good call, sorry. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate the reminder. That'll be updated in 2 minutes for you. Waiting out for the deflect. Oh, boosted. Trying to thread the needle. Ends up caught. Last chance here for Quack on Gardens. Unless they go down to 0-2 on Suravasa. Orbital Ray. Could be a good time to throw the Rampage. You betcha. That's going to hit 3. Really devalues the Orbital, and Horrocks is immediately cut down. Blade from NRG on the other side. Just see if they can swing this. And it takes enough of the heals out long enough, at least, for Kerfley to fall. Still 3v2, favoring Quack on this point. Blade from Boost is going to hunt down NRG. Now turns their attention on to a jab-spinning looter. Backing away with 1 health. Boosted will not let you escape. Flip it 99%. Quack grab control. Hey, don't shove your camera into the wall. Bad streamer. Yeah, no, the ram ban was accurate, because the ram ban happened like 2 minutes before we go in, and I just forgot to change the other one once we went in. Because they don't happen, at least I don't get word of them at the same way. We have to wait until after the lineup is finalized before I see the second ban, which is the same time I get the invite and everything starts launching. So, yeah, it's a skunk moment. Oh, nice combo! That was sick! Just at the tail end of the Deadeye, Lunar pushes up to the corner in the perfect position to yank everybody back in and around cover for the Deadeye to find too. That was nasty combo. 2-0 here for Scared of Women. I keep having to stop myself from saying super shy. Boost going down that early in the fight, certainly not ideal. Winner showing their expertise in not just the Winston, but here on the Orisa as well. Carefully just kind of living in the middle of the entirety of Scared of Women. He's able to find one through the chaos, but eventually rot down here by the battle cattle, and Scared of Women will grab first cap. Oh yeah, I definitely need all the help I can get. I need all the help I can get. There's no shame in that, and that's definitely no lie either. Hey, we get by with a little help from our friends. No shame in needing help. I mean, it's impossible for everybody to know everything all the time. Oh! Carefully, I believe, at least got one with it. Yeah, got it off. It got interrupted, but Carefully still comes up with a 3-piece through that nasty blender battle in the hallway. It was an orbital and and that rampage used there from Quack. You did hit an orbital and a blade invested from the other side as well, although it happened so fast you wouldn't have realized it. Dude, Lunar is just ridiculously nasty with those spears. Oh, Busan gets caught by the Deadeye again! Moose has had a little bit of a struggle bus day, not gonna lie. FACEIT keeps alt-tabbing me. Oh, unfortunate. Oh, when you cut into Boost just in time to see them get hit by 3 different stuns at once. Does make it to the point using the extra dash of the blade, but that's all they're going to get out of the blade. I mean, I guess you don't get overtime, though. I mean, you're not going to get anything else. So, worth, although not ideal. Joel's able to peek over the corner and find the headshot. Boosted low. And this one's going down to the wire. You have a couple of supports left. Quack managed to get about 65%, but they got to get a touch here. Gate kept off the front lawn. Ooh, able to sneak in through the stairwell. Lunar's gonna be the final raid boss on this point. They haven't gotten into that yet. Boosted was trying to clean off some of the auxiliary teammates on the sidelines. But here's a massive terrorist surge right in the middle of the point. Boosted gets popped trying to dash through. Carefully speared out of their punch. And that's a 3-0 on Suravasa. Scared of Women will take a 2-1 lead. Even uses the same highlight intro. Hey, you got to dub in aesthetics, okay? Oh, this was a wild fight. Unfortunately, you didn't get a dub on the map. Quack choose Runasapi, ban out Orisa. I'll try not to forget the second ban this time. We're going to get some stats. Hey, one of the things I want to implement once I get my new controller and all my new overlays and stuff built, is kind of have a ban page so we can kind of look back and see what has been banned out throughout the series. Then give you an idea. I mean, I don't know. I want to incorporate some, more scenes and stuff. I'll have a look at some stats while I go accept this invite. Ooh, hey, let's just go ahead and check that other ban real quick while I'm thinking about it. It's a Kiriko ban. They're from Scared of Women. All right, back to stats. There you go, friend. Have a gander at some round 3 stats. Let's get into map 4. Rock says United have just kicked off. Let's make it fast. Supposed to be in an AFO match? What is an AFO match? Carefully staying in, sticking with the JQ. Lunar and company with the Ramatra brawl right out of the gate. It's going to be a Brig Juno. Nothing surprising here. I mean, the Juno's so powerful on most push maps. Particularly the kind of long open ones. I'm thinking, you know, Runasapi, Esperanza, New Queen Street. Really everything but Colosseo. And you still see a lot of Juno and Colosseo as well. But not surprising to see the Brig Juno from both of our teams here. Ooh, big knife. Lunar gets yanked out of their hiding spot. Curly just dragged them into the middle of the entirety of their team. That's a beautiful knife over the car there with only 80 health. They got some important additional health regen and now able to chase down that kill with some help from Boosted. Speaking of getting by with a little help from our friends, flawless flight out of Quack there after a 3-0 shellacking on Suravasa. Quite the bounce back here. Start off on Runasapi. Show with a little sneaky position. Try to take back this corner. Speed ring engage alongside Nemesis form, but a rally from Elku keeps Lunar under control. You still have extra raw speed fire here as the Rampage is going to fly 3. NRG will take care of the former, but Shoal will fall. Kerfley's able to find Horrocks through that orbital as well. Kill's still trading and ult still being invested as the annihilation come and goes for Lunar. It's enough to win out the 2v1 at the very end. Ooh. And another little approach from Boosted. A little bit of an inside approach. Okay, I was saying, may watch for... not sure, was trying to drop down or get chinky in there. Oh, just comes out surprise Boosted. Boosted had no clue. Shows like, what you doing there? Shame, somebody put a bullet in the back of your head. NRG leveraging a 5v4 with his Dragon Blade into a 5v2. A beautiful little flat kill on the arrow. This will be the lead and a potential checkpoint here for Scared of Women. Boosted might be able to get a touch. Okay, well, looks like we are going to get in range for a touch. Boosted is here. Deadeye from Shoal to try to prevent it from happening. The stick lands, but the checkpoint comes through. So the Deadeye gets what it wants, even though it's just a sacrificial lamb kind of play. You deny the touch out of Boosted. They are forced to respect the Deadeye. Rest of Scared of Women are able to disengage through the water wheel, albeit it's only 3 of them. AFO's a Grinch tournament, by the way. Yes, Grinch tournament. Fantastic. Do we all have to, like, dress as the Grinch? Like, we'll workshop this. But no, I do appreciate it, genuinely. Obviously, a French tournament is what you intended to say. Both takes coming up on ultimates. I'm looking at the support ult charge here from Scared of Women, though. Yeah, this is going to get dangerous for Quack because they have to make them play around this corner. There's not much room to work. It's the Rampage attempt, but it was already so late in the fight. It wasn't enough damage to follow up on the Rampage. And that support ult charge, although both of those support ults invested, that extra charge does come in quite handy there for Quack as they extend their lead. Excuse me, for Scared of Winning as they extend their lead. I saw that boosted. Just sneaks out up top to find Horrocks. Scared of Women managed to get their 5th back in the fight. Of course, those double support ults now available here for Quack as they throw into the first of the U-turn corner and try to secure this checkpoint. Thought about a full rotation? You gonna do it, Shoal? Shoal's gonna do it. Shoal's gonna pop out the backside. A high-risk move, and it has been red. Chase down. This boosted will find the pick. But, you know what? At least well... Scared of Women, you get the OC off the table, but you lose Blade as well. So, in the end, it's a net dub here for Quick Academy. Not to mention, it should be a checkpoint. A late annihilation. That is a 1v3 annihilation tossed in from Lunar to try to stop that checkpoint. Room 4, really. Boosted was still around. Wasn't directly in the fight, but was still available. Boosted out of the fight momentarily, returning after recalling way back behind enemy lines. Blinks over to put Baxter in a weird spot with that pulse bomb. At least I think that's how that went down. That's what that looked like. Now, not only checkpoint, but lead picked up here from Quack. 3 minutes on the clock. Quack trying to force a map 5, and a pick on a Shoal would have been just a ticket. Lunar does get the shield down in the nick of time. Gracie on Lunar, not as big a threat. Baxter stalling, looks like, to throw his ultimate in until they get to the corner. Yeah, try to throw it up the straight, right on top of Kerfley. See, Kerfley running from Lunar. Well, Lunar decides not to chase them down. He's going to opt to just keep moving up Main Street. Take the second half of this fight here, the next U-turn. Shoal playing from inside has already picked up 1. Lunar now trying to isolate either Kerfley or Elku, and they're going to pick up both. Elku, importantly, dropping so close to that rally. Lunar ends up finding 4 there at the very end. Just tacking on kill after kill after kill. Disengaged momentarily out of the orbital way. Rally popped from Horrocks. Oh, knowing they had no more room to work, either back up all the way to the midpoint or try to pop the rally there. Beautiful pulse lands from Boosted amidst the Deadeye. Actually able to catch NRG with that. Couldn't have worked out any better there for Quack. Other than losing their lead, of course. Or what? Never mind. No, they protect the lead. What am I thinking? They protect the lead. I know, it really didn't. My first instinct was good. I started second guessing myself. I hate when I do that. Boasted was hoping for the 1 clip in on the Baxter. X-Ross on the front line's going to pop it over the save. It got stuck in place there by a nice vortex out of Lunar. Lunar jumps up with the annihilation and hits Elku. This is going to latch onto Eru as well. His bow support's kind of getting drawn in there by the annihilation of Lunar. Will be an opportunity for Scared of Women to close out the series here. This map's going to go down to 1 last fight. I suppose there is a world where Scared of Women get the lead, but Quack win the fight, and it comes back the other direction, so maybe not absolute final fight, but opportunity. Kerfley's gonna throw in a rampage, at least to shut down NRG's blade. It works, succeeds, with the tick damage being enough to send it over the line, but Kerfley has to sacrifice themselves in the process. Lunar just hanging out on the bot, forcing the issue down low as TS1 continues to march forward, but they're knocked out of their little cubby hole as Quack moves down to engage. Lunar is surrounded, hits the Nemesis form. Boost is able to clean off Baxter and remove that extra sustain. Eventually, Lunar is cut down. Quack will protect their lead here on the back of Runasapi, win their map pick, and force a map 5. Man, Scared of Women had a plan for map 5, didn't they? Wasted no time. Dorado pick, Junker Queen ban. Try to force... Do they succeed in forcing Machu back into this? Do we get the Winston match? I assume that is what Scared of Women are trying to do here. Stats from map 4. Boosted, aka Chili Card. 27 and 3. Fewest deaths on that one. Top elims. Fantastic map all around. Boosted. Who I talk about kind of struggled in maps 1 and 3. You know, kind of finding themselves first pick a lot of the time. Man, really stepping up there at map 4. Force the issue here. One final map. We said it was a JQ ban coming in from Scared of Women. It's an Ana ban coming in from Quack. It's an important map here kicking off the season. You want to start off with some good momentum, right? Let's get into it. Wait, bands are backwards, sorry. Actually, no, it's teams that are backwards. Bands are correct. It's teams that are backwards. I intended to do the side swap thing as we went in for that little cool transition, and I forgot. See, that's why I'm like, I'm just gonna do this while I'm thinking about it. That's why, right there. All right, we do get the Winston head-to-head. And we saw just how much this favored Scared of Women back on Watchpoint Gibraltar. They're able to finish, you know, in the end, it was a 3.5 minute time bank to 1 minute time bank going into extras. And a lot of it based on Lunar's Winston play. Had highest elims, fewest deaths, and most damage. Had the trifecta there on Watchpoint Gibraltar on the Winston. But hey, it's Machu who fights first blood in this one. Your defense is missing their carry. Excuse me, that is second blood. Excuse me. Whoa! Scared of Women were dangerously close to losing their carry as a shot from X-Ross splits the hairs of Baxter. Baxter still low, and Machu is going to hunt down Lunar, win the Winton battle. Defense holds here. No one and done this time for Super Scared of Women. Baxter got a both considered rushes actually coming up simultaneously. Both can get thrown simultaneously here over the stairwell. Machu isolates Baxter before they're able to get any cooldowns into that exchange. Ends up being a 2-for-1 favoring your defense. Arrow in a bit of trouble, but does swift step inside the bubble to escape danger. NRG is eventually able to come in and keep the threat going alongside a primal rage. That pulse bomb destroys Machu, and this primal from Lunar might be enough to get this thing over the line. It's a scrappy fight on the back of Dorado's point A. Ooh. And looks like a momentary regroup as Lunar heard the rally cry from friends coming in from afar. The cavalry is here for both sides, as a matter of fact. It's going to take one more fight here for Scared of Women to take this point. X-Ross with an OC will slow the roll of this attack, slow the tempo a bit. Isolate Shoal behind the fountain. Now Machu with the primal rage and a 1 health Lunar just gets stomped. Couple of good air hits. Nice finish onto Horrocks. Down to 1 minute here. Quack with quite the successful hold. After their defense on Watchpoint Gibraltar looked a little flimsy, it is stalwart here on Dorado's map 5. You know what I meant. Map 5 of Dorado. Yeah, something like that. Good pressure from Boosted, able to kind of control this flank that keeps Lunar from being able to utilize it to push forward. Lunar eventually just has to use the jump and, well, on the back of a Deadeye, trying to grab some space. Boosted recalling back in after not quite able to get the one clip on the Shoal, but now a sound barrier up from both of our squads. Only 3 get it here from the defense. Pulse bomb from Boosted doesn't land. The rollout from Shoal trying to find the kill. Cannot just yet. Recall forced. Still all eyes on Boosted with the cooldowns out and the cap point. The point capped. Amidst the chaos, a slight Charlie Niner. There was a massive player advantage there for Scared of Women on the back of that. But they only have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to work through the rest of the map. They required all 4 minutes for them to get that first point on the board. Do have a Kitsune rush here to perhaps take high ground. There was a moment where they had an advantage in that regard, but we're kind of forced to slow down and regroup. That built time for Arrow to respond. Lunar dropping it over the top, try to separate Machu from their heels. Oop, that boop does send X-Ross down to the low ground. So it's a 2-3 split. All right, everybody from Scared Woman is going to end up dropping. Final take place on the corner. Shoal was left up top for a moment, but is eventually booped down. Lunar says, hey, that high ground looks nice and free. Not so much. Defensive Quack hat were able to stabilize, but only momentarily. Once again, the fight moves down low. Pulse lands. Deadeye out. Oop. Okay, Deadeye's dead. But they are the only player from Scared of Women that have gone down. Horrocks with their final blows there to help cap point B. X-Ross looking for catwalk control. And we send in an RG up there. No, that's just a full low ground approach. X-Ross just has kind of free sight lines to find Horrocks. You do eventually get a rotation from Scared of Women. Yeah, I know. After they just got destroyed from that high ground, they kind of all migrated towards that side door. I would expect Shoal and company to at least put some threats towards that side hallway. Trying to actually toe the line. Protect the flank while putting damage towards Machu's direction. You get a primal out of Machu very early in this fight. Not getting a lot of value on the back of this. And they have to just bail on that attempt, run back into the safe arms of their healers. Considering rushing out around this final corner from both of our squads. Lunar able to pick up a kill through that before the sound barriers get into the mix. So player advantage for the attacking Scared of Women. Swift step back into the hallway where Shoal's pouring shots down towards the right-hand side. Picks the Melku out of the sky. Boosted does land the pulse, though. Has 50 health here to play with, 46 to be specific. Gets the recall out, still low in their own right. No recall to use. They lose the duel to NRG. Cart does stall here around the final corner with 60 seconds to go. I just said that, Athena. Baxter with a beautiful pick. His reinforcements are starting to return into this fight. Baxter and NRG moving up to the catwalk. Baxter keeping Boosted out of the fight for a moment. Ooh, landed a nice little flick headshot. Boost is going to get the drop down kill on the back. Move into see if they can find these DPS as well. Both recalls used simultaneously, and slight disengage with 30 seconds to go here from Scared of Women as they wait to get their 5th back in the fight. Joel's able to find a pick with the disengage. Deadeye thrown in, but the bubble will block it. Machu's recall 4, excuse me, NRG's recall forced by the primal of Machu. Slight back cap going on here with 10 seconds to go, but Lunar might have just isolated themselves too much. They were counting on that primal rage. They will not get it up. Quack are going to make a huge stop on the back of this, assuming they can keep Machu alive with this Kitsune rush. There's just not enough point presence available for Scared of Women to push around that corner and into all this damage. Elko, only 2 deaths there on that defense. Horks going down 3 times as many times on the other side. Tanks, I mean, fairly close in deaths, but you see Machu get involved with, you know, quite a few more picks. And, I mean, not even 100 damage separates our 2 tanks as of right now. But Lunar is behind in every metric, surprisingly, here in the Winston matchup against Machu. What a performance. What a performance out of Machu and Quack to put up that big hold. Is it enough to take the dub? Machu takes Orange House first before moving back over to Red Roof. No high ground positioning as of yet. Machu's just going to do a little lone bounce up, extra ult charge, kind of say hello to the 3 members of Scared Women's defense up on that high ground. Little return battle, draw some attention, able to build up some ult charge for your own supports while drawing aggro. Similar dance from both of our squads thus far. And we'll get a real fight breaking out here. So Lunar dropped down, Machu up top. Machu drops, recall has been forced. Lunar has nowhere to go. Ooh, Suzu has to be used. Lunar gets their jump up just in the nick of time to move back up into high ground. Rounding the corner though, Machu just eats a face full of damage. Quack going to take some high ground as they rotate through courtyard, leaving boosted on the point with a pulse. Nice shot from Eru. That's going to clean off the flank, allow everybody to just keep all eyes forward and look to put a pincer movement here on the Lunar on this point. But there is a Kitsune rush to be respected. Eru has one in response. Fighting their way all the way into the back. Boost is able to get Shoal low, but won't land the pulse bomb. Still, Lunar with very little health is just sheepishly tucking tail and running into the alley. Less than a handful of meters to come back onto, but the sound barrier is there to bolster this response. It's going to be a double sound barrier fight with X-Ross's OC fighting first blood on the Horrocks. Good shot picking Lunar out of the sky before NRG's pulse will put them back in spawn. And the point does come through, but the fight's even done. OC available from the defense, trying to hold this high ground. You know, fight over the corner.
This ends now.
Machu primaling. Lunar's gonna hold on to theirs. Okay, he's gonna go ahead and now pop it. Shoal just moves in and try to help that out. Finds Elku through the juggle. That was a fantastic shot out of Shoal, although they do, you know, lose their life pushing all the way up to that front corner to find that pick. Ends up kind of a net neutral with both teams circling down low in front of this next corner, in front of this Z-turn. Ult's invested to try to put a stop to this now. Scared of Women don't want this cart to get into the final courtyard area of this point. It can be a lot more difficult to defend. Their investment will pay off. They should be able to move up to high ground, stabilize. We're looking for a rotation here from Quack to push back towards the mega courtyard. Whoop, that's not going to make it. A little bit of different approach. Get X-Ross set up here with this crossfire. Kitsune rush up for Machu as they look to kind of go into the back of the Scared Women defense. Machu misses another jump. That's could be disastrous. Ends up actually getting the kill on the NRG. Great Suzu out of Aero. Fortunately, there wasn't much else ult-wise to worry about, so. Great fight from Quacks, despite, you know, a slight misjump there from Machu. Ends up being inconsequential. Camembert, thank you for the follow. We have seen quite a bit of Freya this week. We saw Freya play a little bit earlier in the series. But yeah, team's definitely opting for the Sojourn here on Dorado. I think a little more consistent against a Winston. I think Freya is probably more vulnerable to a Winston dive. Arrow with 2 final blows to cap out that point. 242 on the bank here for Quack. And with that impressive defense, they do not even have to get it all the way to the cap. But yeah, but we actually saw Freya ban early in the series as well. So I mean, Freya's definitely got a place in the meta right now, but not taking over, no. The only ultimate here from Quack. Machu pounces onto a Tracer of all heroes to land on there. Kind of leaping into the back line. Manages to limit Tess enough to find Baxter with the punch just in time to land in front of the healing Afuda. Makes it back to corner. Good advantage, but with X-Ross going down, that's all it took for this defense to stabilize. One good shot out of Shoal, and all that work from Machu is nullified. It's actually X-Ross going into the cast. As we see Spike Cassidy make a return. Oh, did that actually... Oh, I didn't quite land. I don't think... Okay, maybe a little bit got on the high ground. Either way, it didn't really matter. No, I did not see the pavement up top, actually. Not that it would have mattered. That was a high-risk play. It was a bit of an ambitious play there. 45 seconds. 3 ultimates all live for the defense. 2 DPS amongst them. X-Raws, the brilliant first pick. This is going to give LQ a chance to catch up or even take over the sound barrier. Does that sound barrier race prove to be a difference maker here in the back of this fight? 30 seconds to go. One fight to win this series. Shoals with an opening kill on a boosted. This is going to chase Eru around the corner. Lunar's trying to pursue. The entirety of Scared of Women are going to chase him off. A high patience play to wait for X-Ross to get back into this fight. There's that sound barrier advantage. Horks does get there up in time, so it is there to match. Luna with the primal, though. When Horks, nobody pick. Horks gets to the backline and pick up one. Luna is going to primal on the objective. Had a 20% advantage over Machu on that. And this one final last stand goes to Scared of Women. Shoal and NRG there to close it out. And Super Scared of Women win their second map 5 in a row. Quick Academy lose their second map 5 in as many days. Heartbreaker for my Quack fans out there. So darn close. So darn close. I'll say we're gonna see Machu taking over. 37-6 there in the Winston to Lunar's 22-7. And they were one team fight away. Quack was one team fight away from breaking Lunar's winning streak. Alas, Lunar sits 23-0 here in Expert Division since the start of Season 4. Albeit with some hairy cinema moments. Oscar-winning moments. In both of these series. And Machu, I mean, really impressive. I can't overstate how impressed I am with Machu's Winston there on that map. The timing, the bubble usage, the primals. I mean, no notes. No notes. Such a great series, y'all. Wow, that was spectacular. Such a great series. My heart breaks for the Quack fans out there. Back and forth all series long. Shelly Car comes up 32 elims in that map as well. We love... Both of y'all love map 5s. Both Quack and Scared of Women have had nothing but map 5s so far here in Season 5. You kidding? What do you mean no Super Shy fans? Who are you kidding? Who are you kidding, Lunar? You know that's not true. You know that's not true. Great series. Great series all around.